Howdy, howdy, and welcome to Full Sport Press. I'm Zach,
And I'm Peyton.
and this is definitely our first time doing this tonight. This is definitely not our second time. Peyton, what did you see this week?
So I saw in the South Carolina Mississippi State game the Xavier Leggett and Lededrick Griffin show. It seemed like this was a very back and forth game, and it seemed like these two were the biggest playmakers on the field. It seemed like every time they touched the ball, it was going for a big play. So Xavier Leggett, he had 5 catches for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he averaged 37.8 yards per catch. And then Lededrick Griffin had 7 catches for 256 yards and a touchdown. So 36.6 yards per catch. They were both just insane playmakers. Seemed like they were faster than everybody on the field. And it really made for a great game back and forth between South Carolina and Mississippi State.
Yeah, it really was a really good game. A really weirdly good offensive game because South Carolina hasn't seen that. Obviously, you don't think Mississippi State's really going to have that right now. But yeah, they both put up numbers really with just two guys. So that was fun to see. But also, go Cox. So staying in the SEC for what I saw, we're heading on down to Gainesville, and we're going to talk about number one wide receiver for Florida. He had an insane catch, streaking down the field with his back to the quarterback. Literally, the quarterback throws it, he puts his hand up and just jumps and snags it out of the air. On top of making that catch, he also has three defenders converging on him, and he basically makes his catch, comes down, and then immediately takes, I believe, a target right after and held on to it for a first down. So a pretty crazy play for that Florida wide receiver. Peyton, I sent it to you in the Twitter or in X, the X DM. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. It was almost like Odell like is how I would describe it. It was an insane catch for sure. All right, moving on to our last week's game of the week. I will lead off with mine. I had Notre Dame, Ohio State. It was a good game. I mean, it was a close game. Came down to the final second, maybe a little low scoring. It finished 17-14. Ohio State scored a last second touchdown to win it. Literally last second, last play of the game. And they won 17-14. Notre Dame kind of proved they might be a contender this year as well. Of course, Ohio State still a little concerned about the offense, obviously, I think for both teams. But yeah, it was a good game. Now, I think the most interesting part ended up being Ryan Day's post game interview calling out the 86-year-old Lou Holtz for something he said on College Game Day that morning. And I feel like when I watched Lou Holtz 10 years ago on College Football Live, when they used to do that show, I already kind of took what he said as maybe he's getting a little older. And if I saw something he said about my team these days, I feel like I would be like, Flu Holtz, whatever. Ryan Day did not think that. He took it to heart, and he had something to say about it in the post game.
Um, yeah, Lou Holtz today responded, and he basically said at the end of the day that he thinks Ohio State is a good football team. He doesn't think they're a great football team, and Ryan Day can go after him all he wants.
Well, there you go. Lou
So,
Holtz
yep,
standing on his ground. Gotta love it.
absolutely. Yeah, my game was just terrible. Sorry, I'm trying to get this bookmark out of here now. Yeah, I had UCLA and Utah. UCLA had been really explosive offensively for their first few games. It seemed like their quarterback was pretty good so far for a freshman. And then they go to Utah. They go to Salt Lake City, and all that just goes away. And ended up being a 14-7 win for Utah. 21 total points. And they did this still without Cam Rising, who is still not back this upcoming week. So who knows when he's coming back for Utah.
Yeah, I watched like the end of it. It just
Yeah,
it wasn't great. I
no, not at
just
all.
not what you expect when I guess you tune into a Pac-12 game. Maybe they weren't awake yet. We'll blame it on the time
Hmm.
zone. But
Yeah.
yeah, it ended up being close, like the other one, but low scoring. All right, and to wrap up the PLL season, the Archers defeated the Water Dogs in the championship. That is why I'm wearing the Archers jersey today. Um, Sadly, I did not get to watch it because they put it during NFL Sunday, and I can't do that. Um, Hopefully next year they've learned not to. I think it's best to just get the season over with before any football begins. Maybe instead of putting the first week of playoff games on that Monday, is it Labor Day or Memorial Day? Whatever that
Yeah,
Monday
I
is,
think Labor Day.
Labor Day. Put the
Hmm.
championship there and just end it there. I
Yeah,
think that's probably the
that'd be
best
good.
move. Hopefully they've learned that. So yeah, it was a good season though. Archers win it all.
Hmm. Yeah. Alrighty. Moving on to the WNBA. Don't have a whole lot to update you on. Just the playoffs are still going, and then an MVP was named today. So let's talk about it all. So one, the Sun and the Liberty move on. They are playing each other. They are actually currently playing each other. If you see my screen flashing, that is what I have on, and that's why I'm in the living room watching it. But the Sun are up 1-0, kind of surprisingly. The Liberty did not look too good in their first game, and it was just kind of weird. A weird night for the Sun, or for the Liberty, and the Sun steal a game in Brooklyn. Then swinging over to the West, you've got the Aces and the Wings. They are playing each other in their in this other set of semifinals with the Aces up one, and Asia Wilson tonight might drop 60 or 70. Like, she's going to be not a happy woman. And here's why. Your MVP was Brianna Stewart. First of all, got to say, Brianna Stewart had a great season. 23 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. It was absolutely wonderful. But yeah, Asia got snubbed for sure. Twitter and Reddit are very upset. She definitely won the popular vote, and Stewie won the electoral college. Here was the breakdown in voting, though. This is the closest MVP vote probably ever between 3 players. Brianna Stewart came in first with 446 votes. Alyssa Thomas came in second somehow with 439 votes, and Asia Wilson at 433. So 14 votes separated, like, top to bottom. It was crazy. But yeah, this last thing I'm gonna say, let me pull up this saved post. Is Asia Wilson had better stats and almost 4 less minutes played per game than either than Stewie, and had better head-to-head stats when they played each other. Dropped 53 in a game, which has only been done once this season. Stewie didn't lead in any category, so I don't know. I'm not happy about it, but I'm done. Asia Wilson should have won. Go Gamecocks. Talking about college football
Wait,
because
before we
okay,
get to college football,
yes,
I did want to say a little bit about MLB. I meant to put this on the notes and I totally forgot
okay,
about it. We were about to get into the playoffs in the final week of the regular season. Let me just go ahead and give you the teams that have clinched. Obviously, the Braves, they have the best record in the MLB. They have clinched their division. The Dodgers also have clinched their division. The National League Central is still up for grabs, as well as the American League East and the American League West. But the Twins have won their division. Now, wild card leaders. Right now, it looks like it's going to come down to Chicago Cubs and the Miami Marlins and the Reds for that last spot in the NL. Phillies pretty much have gotten it covered, I would think. And the Diamondbacks, they're on the edge as well. And then for the American League, Tampa Bay, they will make it. And then the last spot in the American League will be between Toronto, Houston, and the Mariners. So yeah, that will be starting. I believe next week will be the playoffs. Last series are this weekend, and then we get into the playoffs for MLB.
Wow. Yeah, I guess that's right. It's almost October.
Yep, next Tuesday they will begin. So
Wow. Alrighty. Moving on now to college football. First, we are going to update the college pick'em group. So if you are in it right now, there are 7 people in it. We had 2 people join a little bit later, which is fun. But yeah, here we go. So it has been crazy. There's been a lot of movers. Peyton, I think you've been at first at one point. I've been in first.
yep.
Now Caleb is in first with 166 points. And Peyton is in second with 151 points. So we
I'm
really,
tied
really,
with John actually.
really hoping that Caleb can just have a down week here, and people can catch up. Um, Brian Smoke, who is my father, is in fourth place with 149. I am in fifth now, 146, and then your mom is in sixth place with 118, but she joined 2 weeks late, so she already has that against her, which kind of sucks. And then my mom, Star Wars chick, is in seventh place with 85 points. She joined 3 weeks late. So yeah, they're just here to
Here,
have fun.
here's an interesting thing I just noticed. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
confidence based on points, Caleb is
Mm-hmm.
in the lead with 166 points, but John technically has the best record at 28-12.
Yeah, yes, it's a little different. It's all the points. That's why I like it because it's not just about if you get it right. It's about if you get it right and where you put them. So a little bit more strategy.
Have you
We're
looked at
playing.
this week's?
Hey, we're playing chess, not checkers. Oh, I already did this week's.
I feel like it's some doozies in there.
I think there are, but last week was like that for every game.
True.
If you
Oh,
don't know what we're talking about and you want to join, I'll drop the link on X for now while it's free still, and make sure you join. Now, let me drink this. Okay, real quick, just want to talk about something fun that I think is really cool. For the first time ever, a woman non-kicker appeared in an NCAA football game playing at safety. Haley Van Vor is spelt Voorhis, but I'm imagining it's Voorhees.
yeah.
At Shenandoah.
Shenandoah.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting that. University. So yeah, it's just really cool. It's the first time. We've always seen women in football games be kickers, but never really been able to see them in other positions. So it's exciting. Step forward.
I would just like to point out that she definitely should have been called for roughing the passer. That's neither here nor there. I'm just pointing out what was on the film. All right.
Oh, dude. Alrighty. So now getting into week 4. Let's talk. Let's just get this one out of the way. Oh, good job, Florida State. You did America a favor. You made Dabo look like an idiot. You made Clemson lose. That's all we could ever ask for. You are now one of my top favorite teams, and that's just how it has to be. Peyton, what were your thoughts on this game? Because I thought it was truly magical the entire time.
I did not get to watch most of it, but I did see the very end.
It was wonderful.
I cannot believe that kicker missed that field goal for Clemson. Wow.
After making all the other ones, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just Florida State pulls it out somehow. It felt like Clemson it was gonna be a game Clemson somehow won no matter what.
Yup.
It just felt like one of
Yup.
those games, but Florida State ends up winning it.
Man, that was a good one. So
Was.
yeah, Florida State won that one in overtime, 31-24. Moving down to A&M Auburn. This is one this is one on the pick'ems. I picked Auburn. I do not trust A&M. I don't know Jimbo, and I can never remember the OC's name, but they're just weird. I think Jimbo's on the hot seat and probably gets fired this year, but they get a pretty big win in Auburn or at home against Auburn. Did you get to see any of this game?
No, I did not see any of that one.
Yeah, it was. I was flipping back and forth. It wasn't that great. It seemed like Auburn basically has no defense and really no good offense. So we can just
Mm.
keep moving. Um, Bama looked closer to normal. Did you see any of this one?
Yeah, Ole Miss just really didn't look too good. I don't
No.
know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I
I
know they're
watched.
coming in. It was their
Mm-hmm.
offense was the big story, but their
Yeah.
offense was not good.
Yeah, I think that is a big storyline in their game this week because their passing offense is like one of the best in the countries, and LSU's passing defense is like one of the worst in the countries. But yeah, this or last week it did not look good. Bama looked better, didn't have as many turnovers. Milrow is the starter, and they look fine. Not great, but they look fine.
They did what they wanted to. I think your
Hmm.
biggest problem with Alabama is if you start losing, then you're done. Like they're gonna just pound
Hmm.
the rock over and over and over. If they get in a
Yep.
position where it's a close game, they're not trailing by a lot. That's where Bama is dangerous.
Yep.
Texas got up big and made Bama have to chase them, and they're not
Hmm.
going to be able to do that with Milrow. They want to be able to just control the game, run the ball,
Yeah.
run the ball, run the ball. So I think that's really it. Are you able to keep Alabama down enough where they're going to have to make plays? That's how you beat
Hmm.
Alabama this year, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what it looks like. But yeah, Alabama takes that one 24-10. Moving out to the west, let's go to Oregon. Did you watch the entire Oregon video?
I haven't got to watch the whole thing. I just watched the
Oh,
part where the Colorado State
oh,
people
you need to watch it all
players are
because like
yeah.
at the beginning they show like like part of the speeches and stuff in the pregame or not even pregame. This is like way before the game, and they're just talking about it. And he's like, "Listen, that's a bunch of noise." He's like, Oregon is rooted in substance. We know who we are, and it's Oregon against us. And they just it was really cool to see. As much as I have loved, the kind of the first week shenanigans with Colorado and Dion, this week with Colorado going to Oregon and like scuffing up the O, and then them releasing this video and showing kind of just the trash talk that they're doing like pregame, and it's just like what are we doing? Like I know that we're football is rah 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 blah 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 trash talk happens, but it's like this is just stupid. What are we doing? Let's be adults here. Um, so yeah, it was really cool to just see Oregon go out there and say this is our game. We're in control of this. You've had your fun. We're gonna come out here and take care of business like mature men, and that's what they did. 42-6 win. That is to be said. Colorado was without Travis Hunter. I don't think it really matters. That is a big piece you're missing, but I think that the score maybe is like I don't know 35-28 to like 14 maybe if he's there. So still, Oregon looks good. I am a
Yeah.
believer in Oregon right now.
I agree. They've I believe they crushed everyone they've played so far.
Yeah.
That was their first real like kind of test we thought going
Mm-hmm.
in, and yeah, they destroyed. Let's see, go looking ahead on Oregon's schedule. The next team they play that would be October 14th, Washington. Actually,
Big
3 weeks
one.
in a row they have Washington State, and Utah. So that will
Wow.
be a big 3 week stretch for them.
Alrighty. Um, Moving back to the SEC, looking at LSU and Arkansas. LSU squeaks one out here. They win 34-31 on a basically walk-off field goal. It was like with 8 seconds left, so it was to win the game, and Arkansas couldn't do anything with it at the end. So yeah, LSU wins it here. Kind of weird because this is Brian Kelly's second year at LSU. People kind of expecting
Yeah,
him to, especially after last year, people kind of expecting him to be taken off now and having a close game with Arkansas, who Arkansas is not a pushover, but they're definitely not the Arkansas of recent years past, you know?
yeah.
So yeah. Did you see any of that one?
No, I saw like highlights of it, but didn't really watch
Yeah.
any of it.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. Before we talk about the Gamecocks, because that's going to be the longest, let me get Penix out of the way. So, new Heisman odds came out today. I don't think I saved them, but basically, Penix is now Heisman odds leader, and here's why. He is leading in total yards, passing yards at 1,636. This is in 4 games. His yards per game, 409. 16 touchdowns, so 4 touchdowns a game. And yeah, that's all of the stats he's leading in. 4 of them.
Yeah,
3 of them.
he's definitely looking really good so far. They also haven't played anyone of note. Uh, their kind of test
No.
will be the same thing as
Uh huh.
Oregon's,
Yeah.
October 14th. That'll be their first big test. Yeah, they played
Uh huh.
pretty horrible teams so far.
The good thing is with Penix, though, is he has history on his side because at Indiana, before he transferred, he was good. He was like I
Yeah.
think he almost won like freshman of the year. Or I want to say offensive player of the year. Like he was really good at Indiana, and then he transferred and went to Washington, which was a good choice. Let's be honest. And so he's got that history on his side. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens, especially in the Oregon game. That's gonna be good. But now let's swing it on back down to South Kakalaki. Let's talk about the Gamecocks. We already talked about 2 big names. What were your thoughts on this game?
Um, I I believe that if the offensive line was better and we had a better overall receiving core, I think Spencer Rattler could win the Heisman because he is
Yeah,
playing
dude.
insane right now.
How
He's
long during
just
that
lighting it
game
up.
was he? How long during that game was he perfect?
Yeah,
Like
it
almost all
was
of it.
yeah, basically. And the one incompletion that Star had it was like it was pass interference on
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Mississippi
was.
State, and they didn't call
Mm-hmm.
it. So he's just playing. He went 18 for 20,
Mm.
288 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. He's playing crazy good. He played good against Georgia. The stats may look not great, but he really did play good against Georgia. So yeah, I think he's really taking a step forward. If he can play like that, going forward, South Carolina could be in a good spot. They're just gonna have to. The rest of the team's gonna have to pull it together.
Yeah, the defense. Oh man, does not
Defense
look
is real
good.
bad.
Yeah, it's not good. The defensive line is good. Like we've had 2 players now on
Yeah.
the defensive line win SEC Player of the Week honors, but yeah, they just overall they can't get a stop. And then the offensive line, they look better than they did against North Carolina, but still not great. Going back to Xavier Leggett, I want to say he is leading the country in total receiving yards at 556, and he is also leading in yards per game at 139. So looking good for the Gamecocks so far, and Xavier Leggett. Hopefully he can keep that going. We didn't we have somebody go down this game, a receiver?
I feel like
We definitely
probably.
did. We definitely
I
did.
can't think of about who it was.
Hold
Because
on,
I
I'm
know
looking it up.
uh, Brown didn't even play. Maybe that's what you mean.
Yeah, maybe.
Brown and Juice Wells, neither of them played.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Yep. Alrighty. And yeah, that is all for week 4. So looking at week 5, let's just go over some games you might want to keep an eye on. Peyton, if you have any others that I don't have on here, please, you know, uh, let me know. But
Okay.
first up, at 12 o'clock on Saturday, these are all on Saturday. You've got A&M or Texas A&M versus Arkansas. This will be an interesting one because Texas A&M. I don't want to say this. I don't think this is a prove it game for them, but if they get another win here, then it just kind of bumps me up on believing a little bit more. If they get a loss here, it tanks the stocks. Like that's just kind of how it is in Aggie land right now. If they get a win, it makes you feel a little bit better, and if you get a loss, then Jimbo needs to be gone. That's where they're at. So yeah, keep an eye on this. It is on ESPN networks. Somebody tell me what that means, please. And exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the next
Mine
one. If
says it's on
you
SEC Network.
thank you. Moving on to the next game, 12 o'clock again. This one is on Fox. USC, Colorado. Who knows? I think it's probably going to be another blowout, most likely. But USC also doesn't have a defense, so it it could end up being a high scoring game if the Buffalo's offensive line can figure out what's going on there, because that's not pretty. And in another 12 o'clock game, this is a big one, especially for Florida. I think for Florida, this is a prove it game. They are playing at undefeated 4-0 Kentucky. That'll be a big one for them. Florida just got ranked. They won, beat Utah, had a big win last week against Tennessee. So if they can get a win
But
here, that'll what
they didn't beat Utah.
they did.
No, they lost to Utah.
Who am I? Why did I think that?
They beat Tennessee.
Thank you. I knew that. Man, they played. I think they just played good against Utah. Maybe that's what it is.
They did play. Yeah, it was
Okay,
closer than
that's
we
what it is.
expected.
I think I just thought they won. Okay, they played good against Utah, and then now go into Kentucky, who I think they should be able to beat. But we'll see. I truly know nothing about Kentucky, so who knows?
Yeah,
That one again is. You let me know where it is, but mine says
ESPN.
ESPN. Thank you. There we go.
Um,
Alrighty.
my my kind of special shout out game for 12
Yeah.
o'clock, Clemson at Syracuse on
Yep.
ABC. I
Yep.
think if Syracuse wins this game, do we see Dabo on the hot seat?
No.
I don't know, man. I think some Clemson fans have gotten the taste of what it's like to be a powerhouse contender every year. I wonder if we start to see some fans,
I think.
just because of the way it's happened. It's not just it's
Yeah.
because Dabo has chosen not to do the transfer portal. We've seen the
Mhm.
same offense not work 3 seasons in a row. Even bringing in Garrett Riley has done nothing. I mean, their offense looks
Yeah.
the exact same it did last year. So at what point are fans going to start being like, Dabo needs to do something, or maybe he's not the guy?
Well, I mean, he just kind of just set himself up on this place where it's been a holier than thou type feeling, and we're above everyone else in my eyes. And I feel like in a lot of just general college football fans' eyes from conversations I have had with other college football fans, and I would love to see him get knocked down, but I think the murmurings would start happening, but I don't think anything would happen this year unless it's
Yeah.
just catastrophic and they don't win another game or something. But
Well, I just know
yeah,
I think I saw that there was some booing last weekend. So
well, I mean that I think that's just fandom now. People boo more. I
yeah,
feel like. All right, going into the later afternoon, I only got two 3:30 games. The first one is Auburn, Georgia. It's probably going to be a blowout. I really hope it is because I can't stand Hugh Freeze, and I really want Auburn to lose all their games so they will fire him and get him out of college football. I don't want to talk anymore about that game because I don't want to give Hugh Freeze any more time. Moving on, Kansas, Texas. This is another ranked matchup. We have number 3 Texas versus number 24 Kansas. Kansas again. Last year they did this where I think they won 6 in a row, were undefeated, and then they kind of swung down. They're playing Texas now, so
here's what I have to say: if
Rock
Texas
Chalk Jayhawks.
wins, if Texas wins this game next week, I will say Texas is back. But
Mm.
they're not going to win this game. It's Jayhawk season.
Ooh. Wow, wow, wow. Peyton is sticking with the Blue Bloods, you can tell. He's got to do it. Yeah, I think it's horns up for this one, and I think that's going to be easy. But I hope it's a good game. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd be fine if I'm wrong. Doesn't matter to me. And at 6 o'clock, weird time. Oh, sorry, Kansas, Texas is on ABC. Um,
Yep.
6 o'clock, ESPN. We have LSU Ole Miss. So this, like I said earlier, LSU has the worst or one of the worst pass defenses in the country. Ole Miss has one of the best pass offenses in the country. So could be a blowout Ole Miss's way, which would honestly be kind of funny. I just feel like Hugh Freeze beating all these people is just funny to me. I don't know. Not Hugh Freeze. I'm sorry,
Lane
Lane Kiffin.
Kiffin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Hugh Freeze is on the brain, and I really want him out. Yeah, Lane Kiffin. Um, but yeah, I think Ole Miss should win this game. If they don't, then maybe they start not panicking, but like, what's going on here? You know. So
Yeah, I honestly think LSU will win it. It just feels like
yeah, one of those
that's a
games.
game LSU's gonna win.
Yeah, it feels like Ole Miss is in this weird. It feels like Ole Miss is weird right now.
My toilet bowl of the week, a game
Ooh,
you want to torture. No, sorry. Let's call it what it is. The sicko matchup of
thank
the
you,
week.
thank
If
you.
you want to torture yourself, you're wanting to test your college football fandom. 7:30 on national television, NBC. The Michigan State Spartans versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. It's
Mm,
not going to be fun. It's going to be pretty horrible, I would think.
mm-hmm.
Um, it probably will end up in like a 24-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
You can mark that down 24-3. I want to see if I'm right next week.
Here,
Iowa will beat them.
yeah. I mean, we're tracking Iowa's, path and how many
Yeah,
points they can score. I believe they're still at whatever it was
this
after week
yeah
3.
they scored
Did they
0 last
score
week.
any?
So
That's what I
no, I
thought.
don't believe they
Okay.
did.
Oh man. There's
Here's the
another.
deal. If they weren't even tracking that, this I would say this final score would be 10-3. But because I
Mhm.
know that they're going to be trying extra hard to get points, I'll give them 24.
Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Another. If you would like to watch a normal game, I'm going to send you over to SEC Network at 7:30 to watch South Carolina versus Tennessee. This one is at Neyland in the lights.
It scares me.
Peyton, yeah, Peyton, we've been through this. We might have some PTSD from this, but it's
Yeah.
okay. All I hear is Rocky top in my head right now. The tears are falling again. It's okay. Anyway, no, this will be an interesting one because Tennessee just lost to Florida after looking pretty okay their first couple weeks. South Carolina, I don't know. We looked really good one week and then really bad another. I think this one's a toss up personally, but Tennessee is a 12.5 point favorite, so
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see that, but yeah.
I feel like Tennessee's out for revenge, and if Tennessee does have a good night, I think
Yeah,
it'll be
I do
it'll be
remember
bad.
that. Let's
Yeah,
just
we put up 60
remind
on them
everyone
last year.
we did put up 60 points on them. Hey, maybe Spencer Rattler
That's the
just got
part
the,
that scares me.
but maybe Spencer Rattler just
Maybe.
has it against Tennessee. Maybe he does it again. Oh man, could you imagine if he
But if
does
he
it
doesn't, I
again?
think we are in trouble.
Well, yeah, probably. But if he does it again, okay. All right, sorry, but this Saturday night you have to stay up late because you have to watch Penix play. Where is it? He is playing. Washington is playing 3-1 Arizona in Arizona. This will be an interesting one. Really, just to get your feet wet and see what Penix looks like. I don't want you to stay up the whole game. Listen, sleep is important to everyone's mental health. Okay. Don't stay up late for this game. Washington is going to blow Arizona out. Let's just get straight with it, okay? But just watch Penix for like a drive or two. It's going to be fun. Watch him score a touchdown. It'll be fun. That's all.
There is a slight problem, Zach.
What?
It's on Pac-12 network.
Yeah?
I don't know if everybody. Oh, is that a common channel? I thought I read somewhere Pac-12 was not common to have. Do you
I
have
don't know.
Pac-12? I don't
I don't
know
know.
either. I guess we'll find out
I'm
on
not
Saturday
up
when we
late
try to
enough for
watch
these games.
it.
Yeah, when I try to watch, I'll tell you.
If you have
Hey,
Pac-12 network, there you go.
at the very least, wake up Sunday and you know what? At the very least, wake up Sunday and watch the highlights of this game right before you watch the NFL, which we're getting into next. Did you have any? No, we're not. We have
No, it's in.
polls. Dadgummit.
No, I
All
don't
right.
think there's anything very
No?
major
Okay.
poll wise. Here, look. Let me give one little quick look over it, and I'll tell you if it's worth it to even talk about. I feel like I don't remember anything huge changing. I mean, just a few up and downs. Ole Miss is down to 20. Oregon State down
Yeah.
to 19. Nothing huge really. Notre Dame only
Mm-mm.
moved to 11. So yeah, we'll just kind of we'll only talk about those when we have a major shift.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, moving on to the NFL. Little
Um,
full sport press fantasy league update. I am the greatest team of all time. I I have
shut your
led the
mouth.
league in scoring
Oh
every
man.
week. Um, and I don't know how long that's going to last. Probably I'll be the lowest scorer this week, knowing how fantasy works. But I am currently 6-0. If you don't know, we're playing against the median score as well, so we get a win, 2 wins or 2 losses, or a win and a loss every week. Um, let's see, where are the standings on here? Can you see the standings on your screen?
Scroll down
I
on
don't see
league.
standings.
Okay, I got them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now, I'll go bottom up. David, you're in 12th. I'm sorry. We'll just keep moving. Austin is in 11th. Then we've got Billy Ray in 10th.
Mm.
Sean is in 9th. And then I believe we're now getting into our playoffs. 8th place, 3-3, BP. 7th place, 3-3, Caleb. 6th place, 3-3, myself. 5th place, 4-2, Cam. 4th place, 4-2, fadeaway threes. Don't know your true name, but that's what it is here. In 3rd place at 4-2, the Colombian Cocaine Bears. Don't
There
know
you go.
your real name either. In 2nd place at 5-1, we have John, and then 1st place 6-0, the only undefeated team now, Peyton. So that means you have beaten your opponent and beaten the league median every week, while everybody else has either lost
Well,
to an opponent or median.
that does make sense considering I've been the high scorer every single week.
Yeah.
All right.
This week, this week I think I have Cam. No, I have BP this week, so big
I
week for
play
me.
against. I believe you said his name is Dave. No, Sean. I
Yes.
play Sean.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Get it.
So
Well, let me do my
before we
thing real
get
quick.
into the
Yeah.
games, special shout out first. We had a big appearance in the NFL world. Taylor Swift attended the
Yes,
Kansas City Chiefs game.
she did.
There were already rumors building for weeks that something was happening between her and Travis Kelce. I don't think anybody really thought much of it, that it was real. And then the rumors were swirling. She's in Kansas City. And then it just took over the broadcast. It took over X. It took over everything. Um, and now Swifties are NFL fans. It's getting wild. Go ahead and give us our
It's
Taylor
it's
Swift
great.
effect over the what happened since the Sunday.
First of all, I just want to say, Swifties, you're welcome. If you don't know David, who listens, he's my friend. He's in the league. He's also a Swifty. I don't know if he would call himself a Swifty, but he does like Taylor Swift. But yes, you're welcome. I can't wait to watch football with you. But here we go. So Sunday night's telecast for the Sunday night football game drew in 24.32 million people because Taylor Swift was there. This is the highest audience in demographics of among female viewers that are ages 12 to 17 and 18 to 49 ever. So that is pretty cool to see. Just seeing the game open up to more people. Just to put that in perspective, in average, the for the regular season, NFL viewership is 16.7 million. So definitely got a bump there. And I think also supposedly because of Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce's jersey sales bumped up 400%. So Swifties are here. They are ready for football. I think honestly, probably by week 11, they are going to know more about the sport than any of us do because I don't think anyone else understands the amount of power the Swifties have and the amount of time and effort they put into their research. It's truly scary, but it's powerful. So yeah.
Yeah, I've already seen Travis Kelsey's birth chart with Taylor
Yep.
Swift's. I've seen more
Yep.
stuff than I would ever want to know about Travis Kelsey. So yeah,
You're
it'll
gonna
it'll
you're
be
gonna
interesting to
know
see.
you're gonna know a lot.
I saw a tweet about how Travis Kelce is going to be dangerous because he got in a fight at practice one time at the Chiefs, so he's dangerous
Well,
to Taylor
obviously.
Swift.
Well,
I've seen a
obviously.
lot of things. All right, let's get into the football side of things. Let's talk about Week 3. What happened big in Week 3? And we'll start with the Colts upsetting the Ravens in overtime. Justin Tucker,
Colts.
has he been what's the word I'm looking for? Overtaken?
Ooh,
Dethroned. There it is. Has he
dethroned.
been dethroned as the best kicker in the NFL? Matt Gay of the Colts. That's who Justin Tucker was playing against. Justin Tucker missed a 61-yarder. Matt Gay, meanwhile, I believe was 4 for 4 on 50-plus yard field goals in that game. 5 for 5 total. 4 for 4 on 50
Hmm.
yards or more. And he won it in overtime for them, 22-19. And without Anthony Richardson, it was a game that was like, I believe it was raining, if not the whole time, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like a messy game. Lamar had a lot to do on the ground, couldn't really get anything going. Zach Moss. Let me just say this. Let
Mm-hmm.
me give you a hypothetical. Or does Zach Moss's performance, is that convincing the Colts? Let's just get rid of Jonathan Taylor. Why keep him? Like, what? Like, I know Jonathan Taylor is better than Zach Moss, but Zach Moss is
Yeah.
showing, kind of proving the GMs slash owners points that running backs maybe don't matter too much,
Mm-hmm.
um, because he's doing just as good as Jonathan Taylor would.
I mean, I think it's just going to be about consistency because this is really his first week he's done this well. So, just can he keep it up?
Let's see. Last week or against Houston, he had 18 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown.
That's
And
pretty
against
good.
Baltimore, he had 30 carries for
Yeah.
122 yards.
Yeah. He really got
So
like the
he got a lot
bulk.
more.
Yeah.
I guess that's why
So,
they cut Deion Jackson. They were like, let's just commit to Zach Moss.
yeah. Which I mean, I think that's a good commitment because Zach Moss is good. Like he was good in Buffalo. I I love JT and I wish he would stay. I think he's a big piece, but we need a wide receiver, man.
Yeah.
I don't care. Michael Pittman ain't it. He ain't
Eh,
it. Let's
I think he's
he
pretty
ain't
good.
it. Nope, he ain't it. Let's
Now,
get
Michael
someone
Pittman may
else.
not be a number one guy, but he is a solid guy.
He can be a number
Gardner
2 or 3,
Minshew,
but he ain't the one.
I'll establish this, and I feel strongly about this. Gardner Minshew is the best backup quarterback in the league.
He is.
Um,
He's great.
Now,
Minshew
I think
mania.
the game says more about the Colts than the Ravens. I don't really worry about the Ravens. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be all right. All right. Next kind of storyline: Zach Wilson, not the guy. It's just I don't know what it's going to take for Salah and the Jets to realize they're going to have to bring somebody in if they want to make the playoffs. But Zach Wilson's just not going to be able to get it done. I mean, not necessarily all his fault, but 18 for 36, 157 yards, no touchdowns, no
I
interceptions, but no
I feel like
touchdowns.
it is his fault. He's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, what to be fair, the ground game did not help them at all. As a team, they
No.
had 22 carries for 38 yards. Um,
Yeesh.
so they really couldn't do anything against the Patriots. And you can't say anything about his receiving core. They've upgraded. They got Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, um, and Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook. It's just it's at a point where as soon as the game was over, they said Zach Wilson's our guy. He's shown nothing but good signs, and I don't know where they're seeing that, but I think they have to question. I don't know who the next
Listen,
guy is. I know Carson Wentz has reached out. I don't think that's a good option, but he has. Matt Ryan also apparently reached out to the Jets. But I'm going to tell you the solution, and this is the answer. The Jets need to immediately trade for Kirk Cousins, and I think that's the only way they save their season.
could you
Thoughts?
imagine? Sure. I don't know.
Well, I say that because the Vikings are 0-3, and it's Kirk Cousins' last year in that contract, so
Mm.
he probably either will not come back or whatever. So if they were going to trade him, it would be this year. Jets are in dire need; they need
Do
something,
you
and
do you
I feel
think
like it
they
makes the
would
most
trade?
sense.
Do you think they would trade Zach Wilson to the Vikings?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean,
That'd be
well,
interesting.
I think we have enough evidence to say Zach Wilson is just not going to be great. Um,
Yeah.
So I think it's time to move on personally. And why not get Kirk Cousins? He's a guy who at least can get you to the playoffs. I mean, I think that's the answer. I don't know who else they could bring in. Gardner Minshew, maybe trade for him. I don't know
No,
what.
stop it.
So yeah, if I am the Jets, I'd probably do whatever it took to get Kirk Cousins and hope that works out for him. All right. Moving on. Dolphins committed murder on live television and
Yeah,
killed it's the Broncos.
that was crazy.
There's not much to say other than, oh man, that was just insanity. I didn't have this game on. I just know every time I looked down, I was like, why
Yep.
is Raheem Mostert or Devon? Hold on,
A
Devon.
chain.
He doesn't. Nope, he doesn't want it said like
What?
that. He
That's
said
how
he
it was
came
in
out and said
college.
it's not a
Oh,
chain. It's I can't remember what it was. After Adam
okay.
Shep. Hold on, Siri's up on my screen. Go
Nice.
away. Go away. Anyway, he came out and said it's not a chain. It's a chan or
Oh,
a,
okay.
a cane. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to find it. But he said it was not a chain. So
Okay.
yeah. But I don't know if he's gonna be a guy like this every week. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
man, the Dolphins. I saw a stat. It was like the five fastest players in the whole NFL this season all came from that game and the Dolphins.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. Not much to say other than wow, the Broncos are horrible and wow, the Dolphins are really good. And then let's
Yeah.
move on to another destruction. The Bills destroyed the Commanders. Coming into this week, I think that was like a sneaky game of maybe the Commanders
Mm-hmm.
can pull off an upset, and the Bills said, "No, we're actually really good." And that was 37-3. Josh Allen is back to his normal form. He looked good. Um, that's all I got to say. Lions reestablished themselves, win 20-6, dominated the Falcons. Jameer Gibbs did not look great, but I blame play calling more than him. And
Mm-hmm.
Desmond Ritter, I just don't think he's a starting quarterback. And slowly the Falcons will either bench him or something will happen.
Yeah.
And then going off of all of the NFC South was 2-0 besides the Panthers. The entire NFC South lost their games this week. The Saints lost to the Packers, the Falcons lost to the Lions, the Buccaneers lost to the Eagles, and the Panthers lost to the Seahawks. So every single team in the NFC South took a loss this week.
Yep.
And then I think probably the most surprising game of the weekend, the Texans upset the Jaguars. Um, this is like a game where Jaguars feel like they're gonna win. It's a division game. They need to bounce back after the Chiefs, and the Texans kind of just dominated them, 37-17. Is it time to panic in Jacksonville, Zach?
It's always time to panic in Jacksonville.
Wow. Okay. He doesn't like the Jaguars.
That's just how it is. I don't.
Well, yeah, I mean, did you see? Oh my gosh, this is what I meant to do for my what we saw, and I totally forgot.
Mm,
Did you see who returned a kickoff for a touchdown in that game?
no.
A fullback.
Huh. Nice.
I'll have to find the
That's good.
highlight and send it to you afterwards. If you did not see this, Andrew Beck, the fullback for the Texans, picked up a kickoff and returned it for a touchdown. It was amazing. Look it up and watch it. It was great. But yeah, they dominated the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence struggled again. Just couldn't get anything going. And then finally, two more things. Cardinals are a frisky team somehow. I think everybody thought they were going to be horrible. Caleb Williams tanking. But they beat the Cowboys, who we said is possibly one of the best teams in the NFL. So how that makes any sense, and Josh Dobbs was able to score 28 points on them, I don't know. But that's the NFL for you.
Josh Dobbs was able to score 28 points on him, but not able to buy his own jersey in his team's arena. So
I did see that. Did you also see
fix it.
did you see his response to Micah Parsons?
No, what do you say?
So Micah Parsons said Josh Dobbs is gonna be like throwing darts at a dartboard or something. They're gonna be sacking him so
Mm-hmm.
much. And he posted a respond TikTok of him dodging in the air. It was pretty good. And then finally, last note of the week,
And hold
Justin
on.
Fields. Oh,
I'm sorry. Can I stop you?
go
Josh
ahead.
Dobbs is another one that gives me PTSD because he was in a Tennessee uniform and he dotted up
He
South
was.
Carolina one night.
He did. Yep.
And during a night game in Neyland. Oh man. All right, sorry.
Justin Fields. is another one that we can. I think I can officially say is not a guy. He's just
No,
not. It's not going to work in Chicago. Um, they are
he's
0-3.
bad.
They got absolutely destroyed
He is
by the
bad.
Chiefs. Yeah, it's rough. He
You
went
know what I did?
what?
I trusted it this year. I said, you know what? I'm gonna believe that he's got the running game. He's got DJ Moore now. He's gonna be able to throw. And I drafted him in fantasy. Mistake. He sucks.
Let me just say, I said it from the beginning of the year. Zach knows. I might have been considered a hater, but I've said from the beginning I don't think Justin Fields is that good. I don't know why people are hyping him up. He didn't look good last year. I don't know why thinking he's going to make this miraculous jump and be a possible MVP candidate. Some people are saying he's just not doing it. I don't know if it's the Bears offense. I don't know if it's him, but it's just not working. He went 11 for 22, 99 yards, a touchdown and a pick. In a game,
That's
they were trailing the entirety of the game. So it's not like they didn't have much chances to pass. That's all they should have
mm-hmm.
been doing. So yeah, Justin Fields not working out. And there's an article right after the game, I think it was, that they're already looking to move on next season, which makes sense for both of them.
They
It's
need to
just
move
not
on
going to
this
work in
season.
Chicago. Yeah, really.
Trade him.
All
I
right.
don't know who wants him, but trade him.
Moving on to this week, starting on Thursday night, we got the Lions versus the Packers, NFC North showdown. That should be a good game. Both are 2-1, big game in Green Bay. Then on Sunday at 9:30 a.m., you will be tuning into ESPN Plus Toy Story Edition.
Oh,
Falcons,
yeah, you will.
Jaguars in
Yeah, you
London.
will.
Do not watch the regular feed. You will
Nope.
be watching the Toy Story feed. They will be. I don't know how this is working, but somehow they.
They're gonna be like Toy Story,
Yeah, they're it'll be the game, but
but Toy Story.
in Toy Story universe.
Like
How that even happens, I
understand
don't
that
know.
this is not like Toy Story themed uniforms, Toy Story
No.
themed field, Toy Story themed whatever the thing is stadium. This is the football game as Toy Story. I didn't understand that at first, but then I saw the commercial, like the second commercial where they like give you like a deeper cut of it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, that's what it's going to be like." So
How I I
yeah.
I need to deep dive into how in the world they're doing that because I don't get it.
I don't know. I'm sure it's got to be some sort of AI-ing
Yeah.
somehow. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be
Or
interesting
is
though.
this just proving that the NFL is scripted?
Uh, Proving
Just
we already
saying.
know. We already know.
All right. So my games to watch in both of the windows. 1:00. It was an easy choice. Dolphins at Bills. That is going to be outstanding. Um,
Should be, yeah. It's
I
going to
think the
be
Bills kind of
like
got.
14-7.
That's always what happens when we have a game like this.
Because it's gonna be such a good game, such an offensive showing. It's gonna be 14-7. It's
Yeah,
gonna be 10 to
and
7.
and here's the
It's
thing.
gonna be 6-3.
I think the Bills got screwed by the NFL, if I'm being honest, because this is a game they want in December, January, so it can mess the
Yeah,
Dolphins up having to
and
come into
yeah,
a cold environment, and it's going to be 60 degrees, and the Dolphins are going to be just fine. Um,
yeah,
I think the Dolphins will win this, and because right now they're playing too good to be stopped. Um, but yeah, it should be a great game. Hopefully, an offensive back and forth game. But like we said, they never seem to turn out like that.
yeah. I
Moving
would
on to
disagree.
the 4:00 window. Once again, I don't know what the NFL scheduling is doing. There's only 3 games in the 4:00 window, and none of them are good. They're all horrible. Um, the game I guess you should watch would be Patriots Cowboys. It could be good, could be a blowout. The other 2 games are Raiders Chargers and Cardinals Niners. Both of those could
Yeah.
easily be blowouts.
Cardinals
And
beat the
then
Cowboys last week, though.
that's true, but the Niners are a whole different animal. All right,
We
and
said the
then
Cowboys were the best team.
they were the second best team behind the Niners.
That's not what you just said.
No, we said they were one of the best teams. That's what I said. All right, and then the Sunday night game, which originally looked like one of the best games of the year, sadly no longer. Chiefs at Jets.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So get
I'm
ready
not
for Zach Wilson in prime
I'm not
time, baby.
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching it.
And then the Monday night game will be Seahawks at Giants. Could be a good game. Could be a snooze fest. Too early to
I
tell.
don't I don't understand why after week 1 that couldn't have been flexed.
They really should have, because
Like
that's
why is that too late? That's 2 weeks away. That's plenty of time to send an email and say, "Hey,
please. Yeah.
your ticket time has changed. This is when it
Give
is
us
now."
Dolphins Bills Sunday night. Oh, that would be amazing. But no.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our games of the week.
Yep. Let's get out of
You
here.
want me to go first?
Doesn't matter.
If you know me at all, you know what's coming. I've been begging for it. I don't know if I said this on the podcast.
You
Probably.
did.
I've been
You
begging
did.
for it for weeks. I've circled the game on the calendar. I was like, game day better go here. It's going to be amazing. Notre Dame at Duke. Game day in attendance for the first time ever at Durham. I am so excited. 7:30 p.m. ABC. Kirk Herbstreit on the game for a Duke football game. Oh, and let me just say, it's not like a college game day there where they're being nice to a team. Oh, we'll go to this sad
Mm-mm.
little team and give them a chance. No, Duke is 4-0, ranked number 17 in the country. Notre Dame is number 11, ranked 4 and or yeah, the number 11. They're 4-1. It's I think probably Notre Dame will win, but do not sleep on Duke. They have some playmakers. Riley Leonard, he's the guy to watch at quarterback. He can change games. If you watch the Clemson game, Duke Clemson, he was insane. And let me say, Duke has been blowing out. They've been playing not good teams, but they've been blowing out everyone they played against. They blew out Northwestern. They blew out UConn, and I'm excited for this game. I think it should be great. Um, yeah, Duke Notre Dame. Watch game day, and then watch it at 7:30 on ABC.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Megan earmuffs. I hope Duke wins.
Yeah.
Um, okay, my game of the week. I'm about to shock all of you. We're talking about women's basketball again. Here we go. We've got the playoffs. This is going to be game 3. So right now, game 2 for this series that I'm going to tell you about is 72-62, and the Liberty are winning. There's still 7 minutes left, and now the score is 72-64. So that could change. But the Sun are up 1-0. Tonight they will either be up 2-0 or it's going to be tied 1-1 going into game 3 on Friday. Friday at 7:30 on ESPN2. Tune in to the Liberty and the Sun. You're going to get to see new MVP Brianna Stewart and everybody else on her team, Sabrina Ionescu, Courtney Vandersloot, Jonquil Jones. And then if you want to see MVP runner-up, Alyssa Thomas, triple-double queen, absolutely commanding things from the Sun team, being just an absolute force in the paint and on the defense. And then also DeWanna Bonner, who is just lighting it up from everywhere. It's going to be a good game. It's either going to be like do or die for Super Team New York Friday night, or it's going to be 1-1 and we're taking the series back to New York for do or die for someone. So those are our game of the weeks. This has been Full Sport Press. Be glad you joined us. Any last words?
Let's go, Duke.
Go Cox. And Asia Wilson should have won MVP. Bye.